All right, let's bring in our guest, and I am psyched. And let me begin. First of all, Mike Dana is our guest. Thank you for joining us, Mike. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to Property Source Radio. You wouldn't have been here today. I'm going to tell you right now, you would not have been here today if Pat Coyne had not tested out your service, endorsed it, and brought you in today. So with that, Pat, go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks, Steve. Well, I'm actually very excited because you know as well, Alex, you guys all know as well as I do, my biggest complaints in the world are my property taxes and any other tax and my utility bills. That's what I think about and focus on and fixate on and obsess about month after month, week after week. So Mike Dana here has installed a unit in my house that we're testing, and it is on the electric. It affects the electric of the house. It actually, he's going to go into detail about it, but he is going to prove to me that there is going to be a savings in my electric bills every month. And by the way, it's not just going into spring, Steve or Alex. I'm monitoring the kilowatts, and I'm going to go back 3 years on the bills and make sure I'm not missing anything. You see what I'm saying?
All right, Mike, tell us all about Rochester Power Saver.
Okay. It's a little company that I formed about 4 years ago, and I sort of stumbled across it. As an electrician, I was going to wire up an in-law addition in town of Greece and went down to the customer's basement to check out his service and make sure he had enough room in the panel box. And there was this little gray box hanging up on the wall, and I looked at him and I said, "What was this?" And his eyes got real big, and he came down and he showed me a few bills, and his actual bills were actually going down some. But 4 years ago is when we had the energy embargo, and I decided then electric wasn't going to get any cheaper, so I started looking into it. The problem is when you go online and you start reading about these products, everybody tells you they have got the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I don't believe anybody. So what I did was I went and got a little Visa card, and I bought every unit on the market. I tested every unit on the market, but there was a problem with them. The Chinese and the Mexicans, and they make products that are similar to what we're making. Mm-hmm. The problem is there's no consistency. Some of them actually do work. Some of them don't work at all. Well, we decided if we're going to do this, we're going to try and do it right. So we sourced for about 6 months 100% American-made products. And we put together a unit that actually works very well every single time. It's very inexpensive. Our small unit we sell for $265 installed, and people are loving it. We decided to manufacture 2 other units off of that because we were getting customers that had wells and pumps and hot tubs. So we manufactured some larger units. And I'm here to tell you straight up, Americans are not dumb. We're just not given a fair level playing field. We manufacture the best unit on the planet, and there's nothing you're going to do that's going to save you the kind of money that our unit's going to save you for the investment.
All right, let's backtrack just a little bit here. Rochester Power Saver, Mike Dana's company, will install in your home a unit that will control your consumption of electricity.
That's correct.
You don't have to curb your use of electricity. It will better move your electricity through your house. Is that a pretty good summary?
Yeah, and it's gonna help anything you do to the house. If you put better windows in, better insulation, it makes no difference.
Right.
We're gonna make whatever you do better.
How? What does your machine do?
What it does is it takes the inductive waste out of motors, and that, in real simple terms, are washers, dryers, refrigerators, freezers, garage door openers, anything that has a motor that has a magnetic field to it wastes electricity. And what our unit does is it takes and captures the waste, stores it, recycles it back through your panel box, so you're actually getting what you're paying for.
All right, how do these motors waste electricity?
What happens most everybody understands that upon startup of a motor, it takes more power to get going than it does to keep going. But people don't understand what happens to the wasted power. If you took your dryer, for example, and you loaded it up, because a lot of people sometimes when they stuff their dryers as full as they could, that motor is using as much power as if you only put a few things in there, because the motor's rating itself needs to have enough reserve power for the condition of that appliance. So when you're wasting power, you're actually using more electricity than you should. And what we're going to do is take the wasted electricity, capture it, so then things like your cable box or your lights, your vacuum cleaner, anything that requires power, will take power from our unit before it goes to your meter.
So it's similar to a long-distance truck driver who never turns off his truck. because it uses more fuel to start it up all the time, and that fuel is lost. But you can actually store up electricity.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I think he's fascinated by this stuff, and I'm just fascinated at the thought of saving money. I don't care about anybody else.
So he's installed it in your house.
Yeah, correct.
And I guess it'll take a while to see any sort of.
He'll see it. He'll see it immediately. His next month's bill will start reflecting it. And our units we make two versions. We make a residential version. We make a commercial version as well. Because on the commercial side, if you actually start looking at a bill, there's this magic word called demand that all the commercial people are paying, and no one is happy about this because they're getting billed for power they're not even using. They're getting billed for power that the power company is supposedly storing just in case they need it. And our unit attacks that demand very well.
Wow. Another one of these seems too good to be true. Yeah, Alex?
That's why I'm testing it, and I'm going to report to you guys.
Okay.
See, I'm the guinea pig. I have another friend that's got this pool, and he runs this pool pump all summer to keep the algae from growing. And I talked to him Sunday, and he says, I want to buy one right now. And he says, but I'm using you as a guinea pig, meaning me. And he says, I want to watch his bills your bills for 2 months, 3 months, and see what it does. Because this guy's bills go from, now electric only, not gas. This guy's bills in the winter go from 200, and then when he plugs his pump in for the pool, opens the pool up, runs the pool, 350. So they go up $150 a month in the summer. And that's with minimal use of air conditioning. So that's going to be the big proof.
Well, we have our customers are our best salespeople. We put a unit in for a customer. They typically sell us 5 units to their friends or relatives or neighbors. We have to bet 1,000%. We have to make sure that every single customer that gets one of our units is thrilled and happy, because we can't afford anybody that's not happy. Every time we put a unit in, it's a guinea pig situation. Everybody is skeptical because they said, it's like, this is too good to be true, just like Mr. Hausman said,
And that's awesome that, you get the referral base. You don't have to pay, for advertising, right? But he was in my house, and I did a little psychological thing. I says to Mike as he's installing it, I says, Mike, I'm going to be watching my kilowatt usage, my electric usage every month. And he goes, and I figured I'd trip him up. I figured, this is going to be a gimmick. It's not going to work. And he says, don't worry, all my customers do the same. Was his remark. That means that means I must be going to save money, or he wouldn't be saying that, right?
Yeah.
We offer a 60-day money-back guarantee. If we can't lower your bill 10% in the first 60 days, we'll give you back your money.
Right.
And it just doesn't happen. People are happy.
Do me a favor. Get away from this Mr. Hausman stuff, first of all.
Okay. Julie's husband.
Yeah, well, this guy gets it. Mike's website at Rochester Power Saver is an easy one. It is rochesterpowersaver.com. rochesterpowersaver.com. He's a member of the Better Contractors Bureau. He knows his stuff. If you want to take a look at the website, what will I see on the website?
Actually, there's a second website. It's called usapowersave.com as well. You go to either one, they'll link you to it. What you'll see on the usapowersave.com is our complete lineup of our units, a brief description about what each unit does, the costs, and if you actually buy on the website, there's a discount that's available. It basically gives you everything you need to know about it. And there's a couple news articles they did on us, and everything's there.
USPowersave.com or RochesterPowersave.com. We'll have a link to your websites at PropertySourceRadio.com, right? And if you want to find out more about it, Jeff will do a blog on it. I guess it's easier to get to his blog page to find out everything we talk about every week on Property Source Radio. When we come back, I want to ask you about, because my mind is racing here now, about possible commercial applications here. And we'll do that when we come back to Property Source Radio every Saturday morning from 9 to 10, Sports Radio 950 ESPN.